Um, Welcome to Avocado. In this video, we're going to go through the Avocado product and show you all the things, all the features, how fantastic this account abstraction wallet is, and why we often call it the super wallet. So the first thing you need to do is go to the Avocado website. So if you go to our website, Instadapp.io, and you click on Avocado, you'll go here, and then you can click Go to App. Now, if you're going to use this, I would bookmark this. That website is avocado.instadapp.io. So when you go to avocado.instadapp.io, you are confronted with this connect screen, and it's going to ask you to connect. So we'll just go ahead and connect with MetaMask. And you're presented with this screen. Now, there's a lot going on, so let's just walk through this. So first, we're going to look at the address we have. So this is our address right here, OXD4048, etc. We got 23matic here, connected to the Polygon network. All right. And we can see that that is the address there, OXD404, ... Okay, so our MetaMask wallet is connected. But if we go over here to the left, we're going to see a different address. And this is the Avo address. Now, we haven't done anything. We just connected. We haven't deployed any wallets or anything funny. So what's happening here? So let's talk about that. So Avocado is a few things. It's at its core a smart wallet. It also has network abstraction, and it also has gas abstraction. So we're going to pay all our transactions with USDC, and we're actually going to sign our transactions, which is a little different than when you use your MetaMask wallet. So why was it that I was able to connect and have an address? Let's take a look at that. So your MetaMask wallet has an address, and the Avocado wallet is a deterministic smart wallet. So that means based on your MetaMask address, we derive an address from it, which is right here. And that address is intrinsically owned by your MetaMask. So your MetaMask and your Avocado wallet are almost one and the same. Your private key of your MetaMask is ultimately what controls the Avocado wallet. So depending on the wallet you use, that will, kind of somewhat determine your security. And we'll talk more about security in a bit. So this could be any what we call EOA, or externally owned account standard address with a private key. So that could be MetaMask, that could be Trezor, that could be Ledger, that could be any number of wallets. However, we are going to use MetaMask in this case because Avocado requires certain things. So let's actually talk really quick about the difference between Avocado and other smart wallets. So other smart wallets are created. So you call a function, it basically duplicates the contract, and it creates your address. So this is similar to what you see with Gnosis Safe and with our previous DeFi smart accounts. And these were really great. We still use DeFi smart accounts. We obviously still use safe accounts. This is awesome. But it does leave a couple of things that could be needed. So one, the address is generated when you call the contract. So unlike Avocado, it's not derived from the address. So you have to actually call this contract, and then you'd figure out what address that is. So that means that your address could be different depending on who's calling that contract. Another thing is that when you're going to receive funds, you would have to actually have that contract deployed, which is a little different from Avocado. And lastly, these wallets are network specific. So when you deploy your Gnosis Safe on Polygon, and then you go and deploy a Gnosis Safe on Arbitrum, they may not necessarily have the same address. And the same goes for our Instadapp DeFi smart accounts. Then we have Avocado, a completely new take on it. Well, because we're using derived addresses, we can actually maintain the same address on all chains. So you can have a multi-chain smart wallet. And that means you can use it as a full replacement for your wallet. And it means for cross-chain functions, it's a lot simpler than maybe using Gnosis or DeFi Smart accounts, which are network bound. So you have to be a lot more specific and a lot more careful when you bridge. Okay, so that's just the overview of how Avocado is a little different. So let's go back down. And let's jump into Avocado. So now we know a little bit more of what's going on here, right? So we are going to connect our wallet. Our wallet is here. And then our Avocado derived wallet is right here. Awesome. But hold on. There's another address up here. This is multi-sig. So what's that about? So let's click all right here so you can see all the wallets. So you can actually have multiple wallets associated with your main EOA address. If you were an older user of Avocado, if you used us back in the day, you'll also have a legacy wallet. If you're a new user, we don't recommend you use this as it's outdated and it doesn't support the newer networks. So we have our personal wallet and we also have our multi-sig. So for this video, we're going to just focus on the personal wallet, but just understand that not only do you have your personal wallet, you also have multi-sig. They do function a little bit differently, and you can create any number of multi-sigs. We also have some pins here to just make sure we see the wallets we want to see, right? Because now we have too many. We can't see all the 4 wallets we have. So I'm just going to go ahead and pin personal because that's all we're going to use in this example. Okay, great. We have our Avocado derived address with a lot of zeros. And now we understand that the reason why there's nothing here is because this is a different address. So what we're going to have to do is actually bring funds into here. So your address lives on all these chains. So you could, just send money into this account. But we also need gas. So the first thing I would recommend you send into this wallet is some USDC so you can top up the gas so that way you can actually do things. So let's just click on the gas and you'll see that it accepts lots of different versions of USDC, including some versions that are both the bridge and the native, with preference to the native versions. Okay, so let's just send some money into the account the good old way. So we'll just go ahead and send some funds. Yeah, so MetaMask here isn't even able to see the tokens I have. Kind of unfortunate, but that's okay. All right, so we had to actually add USDC to MetaMask, so we went ahead and did that, and then we are now sending the 5 USDC into the Avo address. Okay, that was quick. So the 5 USDC is now on Avocado. Okay, so now we've topped up 5 USDC into the wallet, and you'd want to go to gas up here, but there's this big orange sign saying you're connected to the wrong network. Please switch to Avocado Network. So before we actually switch, let's talk about what this is. So Avocado is a smart wallet. It has gas abstraction and it has network abstraction. So this part is the network abstraction. Let's actually talk about how transactions work on Avocado, because I think this will all then connect why we're using the Avocado network and why Avocado is really not a network. So on Avocado, to send the transaction, you're going to send the transaction from the Avocado wallet, and then you sign that from MetaMask. So your signature from MetaMask goes to Avocado. It gets submitted to the Avocado relayers, and then the relayers broadcast that to the destination blockchain. And then, of course, the relayers take that payment in USDC. So when you connect to the Avocado RPC, it's really a blockchain aggregator of a bunch of other RPCs that allow us to basically route your transactions, and it makes it simpler when you connect to apps. You don't have to manually switch apps or set your wallet to one particular network. You can just use Avocado for everything. All right, so let's go back to Avocado. All right, so we need to switch network. And again, we're going to switch to the Avocado Network, which is this blockchain aggregator, this RPC aggregator. I'm going to approve it and switch to it. Cool. So now we are connected to Avocado. And here, don't worry too much about this. This is your address on the Avocado network, but it doesn't really exist because Avocado is really this address here. And this is just basically your EOA. So first thing we're going to do is top up gas. We'll go here. And you can select the gas. And go ahead and add it. And here we see the way that signatures work on Avocado, right? So we're doing a transaction. All we do is sign. So that's it. You don't have to mess with gas settings. So we see that the 3 was removed. And then this, and it's going to say that we have $3 in gas pending. So how long is this going to take? So if you click learn more, you will get here to the network support page, and it gives you a estimate for the number of blocks needed. Okay, while this transaction is, while this gas top up is pending, I'm going to actually show you something else really quick. So if you go to the gas tab and you go down here to redeem code, if you ever get a code from one of us, this is where you input it, and you just go ahead and click redeem gas and go ahead and sign it, and that gas will be added to your account. And what's really cool is that gas gets added instantly. So we'll you know, while we have these $3 of gas pending, we're just going to go ahead and use the $10 gas from the redeem code. Okay, cool. So now we have started our wallet and we have gas, so we can actually do things. But how do we do things? So let's go through a couple of things. So I think the easiest thing that you can see first is this big green button being like, hey, you have money across everywhere. Do you want to bring it into your Avocado wallet? So I'm going to go ahead and just X-nay that and show you where that option is on the menu. So you go here on the left, we have tons of options and features. We're going to go through these in a minute, but first let's go to more options. And then we have onboard. And this is the onboarding page. Now this is simply a page to help you move funds from your EOA into your Avocado address. As we just did earlier, we just sent funds into the wallet, so you can obviously do that as well. Although there is one big kind of feature here, which is positions, which we'll get to in 1 second. So if you open onboard, you'll see your EOA on the left and your Avocado wallet on the right with the gas. We got our 3 topped up. If you want to see the address, there you go. If you need to double check the supported networks, they're right here. And let's go down to balances. So these are the balances that are on the EOA wallet. So this is like the MetaMask wallet. And if we use these buttons, it's just going to simply deposit it for us. So we're going to go ahead and deposit base right here. Okay, it wants me to switch. Well, of course, that's because I'm on Avocado. So we'll have to switch to base to send this. And we're just going to send a little less than the max. Okay, so here, you know, this is a regular transaction because now we're just transacting on base. Okay, and then we can go back to Avocado. And there is our base ETH. Okay, cool. So that's basically what onboard does, balances. So now let's go to positions. So positions are a little more interesting. These are for your DeFi positions. You can find the list of supported features in the help section. So we support apps like Aave v3, Compound, MakerDAO vaults, and we also support DSAs. So if you have an account, let's say you have a Polygon DSA with an Aave position, it would also show up here. And just to double check this, let's go ahead and look at this position on Aave. So now we're messing with Avocado. So we want to always double check that we're on the right wallet. 0xD40. Okay, so that looks about correct. Okay, cool. Supplied 8 Matic, borrowed 0.01 ETH. Okay. Let me go back to onboard. And that's about it right there. Okay. Let's import the position. So again, it's going to ask us to switch network because we're using our EOA here. We have to approve the collateral in the position. So we'll go ahead and do that. So it says successfully approved all tokens. So after you get this signature approval, go to import to finish. Now it's asking me to switch to Avocado. I know, it's a lot. Switch to Avocado. And this will finally be able to import your position. And as you see, this is an Avocado transaction. So we're being charged USDC. So I'll go ahead and finish that. And because it's an Avocado transaction, we're getting a signature. You just sign. And there you go. So we'll find this position in a moment. Let's just go to gas top up. So if you want to top up your gas from here, you can. This is reading the balances from your Avocado wallet. So give it a second, let's see. Oh, I guess, do I not have any USDC? Okay, we're gonna skip gas top up. Okay, and that is basically Avocado Onboard, all right? So let's go back to our Avocado wallet and just scroll up here. All right, so we have our new Avocado address right here. If you go here to the plus button, you can see all the networks we support, but this does more. It is actually a link to each Explorer for that address. This is extremely useful. So let's just go to Base, right? We did a transaction on Base not that long ago. And there it is. Okay. Let's go back. We also did an import on Polygon, so we can see that as well. So here's the Polygon address of our Avocado wallet. And we can see that the Aave Polygon Matic is there, including the debt. So I think here's a good moment to just remind you that Avocado is a non-custodial smart contract wallet. So this wallet is owned by you. It's not owned by the Instadapp team. If you need to access this without using USDC, you can just execute the transactions directly on chain. So if you do that, you will need the native gas, and you can find that in the help docs. Ultimately, Avocado is up to you how you want to use it. If you want to use it to get additional functions like Avocado Protect, or if you want to use some of the built-in aggregators, which we'll go over shortly, it's very flexible. So you can use this as your sort of main wallet. You can also use it as an accompanying wallet, or you could take advantage of some of the multi-sig features. So again, this is it's your wallet and you should use it however you see fit. All right, and yeah, let's continue with some of the additional features and functionalities. Now we have funds on the wallet. Where to next? Well, first, let's actually go to DeFi real quick, and I'm actually going to refresh it because I know it's missing some data here. So now you'll notice it says 8.62 is the value. And then we also have this thing called DeFi balance. Okay, so let's click on that. So DeFi balance opens the DeFi tab, and it just shows us the position we have on Aave. This is the position we imported. So now it's on the Avocado address. So if you wanted to open this position now, you can open it again on Aave. And let's actually go ahead and do that right now. So I'm on the Aave app, and as we can see, there are no supplies and no borrows. But that's because I'm connected to the EOA that we just migrated from. So let's go ahead and disconnect. And connect the wallet. But here we're going to click WalletConnect. Okay, we're going to copy the WalletConnect code, and we're going to go back to our Avocado wallet and go to Home. And you see that we have a WalletConnect button right here. And just go ahead and paste that. Now this will connect your Avocado address or Avocado wallet to Aave. So let's go ahead and do that. Successfully connected. Okay, and you can also see that it's connected here, and you can disconnect it from here. So now let's return back to the Aave tab, and there's our position. And if we go up here, we'll notice that the connected wallet is our Avocado address. Also, you'll notice that the network here says Polygon POS, but the MetaMask, the underlying wallet, is still connected just to Avocado. And if you switch networks and say you want to supply, it says here, please switch to base. You just click the button, and that's it. You're now on base. You don't really have to do anything else. Okay, and then you can supply on base. So I press supply on base, but what's next? Well, once I press supply on base here, we're actually going to return back to the Avocado wallet. And here's actually your transaction on base. But we're getting ahead of ourselves. So we're going to go ahead and just close this. Go back to Aave and close this and go back to Polygon. Okay. We did quite a lot, but we're going to do this at a slightly slower pace. So here is the Polygon position. So we can do, as you saw, we were able to sort of execute something here. So let's go ahead and try to withdraw one Matic. Again, it wants to switch. We just click the button. It switches for us. And we're going to go ahead and click approve. Now here's something interesting about certain apps which you can see on Aave. So Aave here says you do not have enough Matic in your account to pay the transaction fees. Please deposit Matic. So some apps will say this was what they're doing is checking for a Matic balance. So the Avocado address does not, that I'm connected to, doesn't have a Matic balance. So under most circumstances, the transaction won't work because there's no gas. But we're using Avocado. So you can bypass this. You can just press approve, and it will work. Okay. So we kind of figured out that when we press a transaction on the app that we're connected to, we have to go back to Avocado to see the transaction. And here's where Avocado shines. You're actually able to see a preview of your transaction. So we're seeing the app that we're connected to, the network, and the estimated fees. Fees on Avocado will be at a range, so it will be between 2 and 3 cents. Then we have transaction breakdown. And this is just showing us what the transaction is doing in the simulation. So here it's saying, okay, it's approving Wrapped Matic Aave Unlimited. Okay, great. We'll press submit. And again, we get a signature. We go ahead and sign it. Now this is garbly glue and very hard to understand. So, you can look at this to help you understand what you're signing. Go ahead and sign it. All right, so the transaction was sent, and we get a little window down here. We'll open the Explorer in a moment. Let's go back to Aave. So the Aave app was able to continue. Now, some apps will lag, so you might have to refresh the page. It depends, but better apps, slightly ones that are a little bit better, will be able to follow through. Okay, so then we go ahead and click Withdrawmatic. Again, we go to Avocado. We see a breakdown of the transaction. We see an estimate of the gas. Now we see something new here, which is called revoke tokens right here. So you can expand this. And basically this is giving you the option to add a revoke transaction to your transaction. So basically we had to approve a pull Wrapped-matic for this transaction, but maybe we don't want to leave that available. So we can just go ahead and click this, and that will simply append, removing the permission for that token, and you can see it right here in the transaction breakdown. And then we're going to get our one Matic. Great. So let's go ahead and submit this. Okay, so we went ahead and submitted that withdrawal. So let's go down. Okay, it said it completed. Let's give it a little second and see if we see our Matic. There it is. Okay, so we're going to go back to Aave. And now we know that for the networks that are supported, we can just switch to them. We don't have to switch network or anything. So let's go to base. Let's go ahead and actually use base this time. We'll just click the little switch network button, and we'll supply 0.001 ETH. Send this transaction. Okay, great. Okay, so we actually didn't talk about one thing on this screen. So with our base transaction here, we're going to go to transaction shortcut, which is down here. So I'm going to go ahead and save the shortcut. So what this is doing is actually saving the transaction we just sent. So we just sent a transaction to top up 0.001 ETH, right? And so we see that it's saved here. And let's go ahead and submit the transaction. Cool. So we sent 0.001 ETH and we saved it as a transaction shortcut. Okay. So now let's go back to these markets and let's go ahead and borrow 50 cents of USD BC. Okay. So here we got the transaction preview. And we're also going to save this as a shortcut. So this is borrow 50 cents. Or we'll just put USD BC. Okay. And then we'll send the transaction. All right, so let's take a minute and look at the wallet's assets, right? So we sent in some ETH, which is gone, and we just borrowed 50 cents, which just showed up. Okay, cool. So before you go anywhere, let's go back to DeFi. So I said Aave v3 and I said Instadapp. So actually, you can find your position on both. And this is a little different if you used DeFi Smart accounts, which you were required to be here. But now you can just use Avocado with Aave or with Instadapp. So we're going to go to base.instadapp.io. And we're going to zoom out a little bit so we can see better. So if you go over here on the left, it says Access Instadapp Pro with Avocado. So the way to do this is the exact same way you connect with any app, Avocado. You just connect your Avocado to Instadapp and it'll load it into the interface. If you want to look at this, you can. So you can use Instadapp with your Avocado wallet or your classic DSA. So in this case, we're going to use Avocado. We'll click Connect, and same as Aave, we're going to use WalletConnect. We're going to copy and bring the code over, back to home, and connect, and click Approve. And so now we can go back to Instadapp and just see that we are where we think we are. And here we are. Here is our Aave position with the 0.001 ETH and the 50 cents that we borrowed. You can also see the balances here. And it's the same balance, you know, it's your same wallet. So it's loading what you have here. So let's say you wanted to filter this. You just go base. And there you go, 0.002 ETH, 0.5 USDC, and that's what you're seeing here. So you're actually free to use both. So not only can you access your Aave position, you can do all the Instadapp functions, including the strategies, which there's no cost when you use the Avocado wallet, and anything else that you find on Instadapp, with a few exceptions. Now, let's say we wanted to borrow another 50 cents. So again, we could do the exact same thing we did on Aave. We would just do it on Instadapp. But we actually made some shortcuts earlier. So let's go back to our shortcuts that we have here. So if you see here on transaction shortcuts, we can see our Aave base top up and our borrow. But before we do that, let's go ahead and actually click here, view all. This is for all the apps that you have connected. Let's go ahead and disconnect everything. So we can see here that we got kicked out of Instadapp and we got kicked out of Aave. Okay, so we're no longer connected to either app through WalletConnect, but earlier we made transaction shortcuts. So we can utilize those to quickly execute transactions from dApps. So if we go to transaction shortcuts, we have our top up. So we go ahead and click it, and we can see the transaction generated again. And we can just go ahead and submit it. And what's fantastic about this is that we are not connected to the dApp. We did not have to open any of the interfaces to do this. Okay, so once that's done, we see that the ETH was supplied, and we can go to the transaction shortcut and use our 50-cent borrow shortcut that we used here. And it goes ahead and it populates the transaction for us. And we'll just go ahead and sign it. So I did find a little bug here that says already known, but the transaction was committed. So when we go here, let me just give it a second and you'll see that we did indeed borrow 50 cents. So base is so quick, we're just going to go ahead and refresh the page. And upon refreshing, we can now see our dollar. So very quickly, we now know how to connect the wallet. We now know how to interact with other accounts. We know how to sign transactions. We know how to top up the gas tank. That is I would say the big chunk of how to use this wallet. you understand already. So this next section is much more focused on more of the advanced features and sort of the doodads that Avocado includes. So first things first, we've been staring at it for a long time, but we have all these buttons here. And so these are the send, swap, and bridge buttons. So if you want to send, let's say USDC, you get a panel like this. So let's just go ahead and just send 1 USDC to my EOA address. So you could do this, just like this, and then copy, and then go like this. And, But you can also just click the select contact, and your EOA will always be the first one. It's right here. And we'll just go ahead and press continue. Now there's more things there, and we also see our handy dandy transaction shortcut. So if you wanted to bookmark this send, you could. I'm just going to go ahead and send that and sign it. Now let's say you have a token in your wallet and for whatever reason you don't see it. So you can just go to the side menu here, more options, add custom token, and you can search or add for any token you want. Now there is a little bit of a trick with this. So let's say you are adding a new token like this one, although it's not new. If you input it like this, it will say like, hey, I can't find it. This is because it's like non-standard or whatever. Just click custom token, and then you can actually select the network that it's on, and it'll be able to say, hey, you already have that, buddy. All right. If you have any issues with any tokens, feel free to contact us. If you want to contact us, it's right here. So I just click this. We ask for a signature request, and you can talk to us right here. If you want to continue the conversation with us that you've previously had, you have to sign in with the same wallet so we can see the previous conversation. If you want to be anonymous, use a different account. Okay, so we're just going to close that. Okay, so we went ahead and we sent 1 USDC. Let's look at the next button. The next button is swap. So this actually lets you trade. And what's really cool is we don't charge any additional fees for swaps or for bridges. And we use aggregation. So let's say you wanted a DAI. You can see here, and you can actually pick like which protocol you want to use, which aggregator. You can lower the, so we see it's a little bit lower. So go ahead and put custom 0.15. And when you want to swap, just finish here. There's your gas fees. And you just go ahead and you sign that. Okay. And we got our DAI. So next we're going to talk about the last button, which is bridge. So bridge, just like swap, is using aggregation. So let's go ahead and use Ethereum here. So this one will have a lot of routes. So when you want to bridge, it looks a little bit like this. A lot of the menus have the input USDC if you want to go ahead and use a dollar value. So go ahead and select the token and network. So we started from ETH base, so that's what it's selected for us. So we'll just leave it like that, and then transfer to. Now, this is a little bit dynamic. And can trip you up if you're just not super aware. This will use lots of different routers to figure out how to transfer your funds. So right now it's doing ETH to WETH, base to Polygon on a cross. If you click it, you can get other options. You can also select this and change it. Depending on the route, it can do a sort of like a bridge and swap. You know, like it can do it here. Actually, it cannot do it here. Our bridge provider does not provide routes, but it can do it sometimes. So for example, let's say you're doing like, I thought I had some other USDC. So let's say, okay, we'll do here. So let's say you have USDBC on base. You're going to Polygon, right? USDC.E, which is the POS bridge. you can go and find like a different token like DAI, and these usually tend to work. Okay, well the bridge minimum is 2, but that will probably work. And same thing with like ETH and WETH. So like if you're trying to transfer Ethereum, you know, and you're having a hard time finding like a route, you can try looking for WETH. And this also applies for the roll-ups, right? So like Arbitrum will have ETH and WETH. So if you're not able to find the route with ETH, then try with WETH. So that's a little tip there. Okay? And so sending, swapping, and bridging. There's actually one other thing we didn't talk about that I did kind of blaze through. And we'll talk about it right now. So let's say you like using the Polygon network, but you have to pay your friend who is an Avalanche fan. But you know, we don't have any Avalanche. We don't hold Avalanche. Well, one thing you could do is you could bridge, right? You could bridge your DAI and then send your friend that DAI on Avalanche. But you can also do something which is unique to Avocado. So let's say we want to send to our friend. Our friend is ourself in this case. Down here you can see it says I want to send cross-chain. So just go ahead and click that, and you'll get the network button open, and you can actually select the destination network. So we'll go ahead and click Avalanche here for our lovely friend and press continue. And so this is what this will do. It's go from Polygon to Avalanche, sending DAI to DAI. Now here, there's actually no route for this. I believe this is because the value is too low. So some of these bridges will require you to send at least about $50 to $100. So again, we're constantly working to add more aggregators. But if the value is very low, it may not work. So yeah, so that probably isn't going to work with that value. We can probably, ETH may work. So let's try ETH. Sending to myself friend, cross send, and we'll have to send to another cheaper network just to make it make sense. So we'll go ahead and do Arbitrum. And you can, this one's going to work. So we have Ethereum going from base to Arbitrum as ETH. It's 0.001 ETH. And the third-party bridge provider will charge an additional fee of 55 cents. And those are the total gas fees between 80 cents and $2.31. And similar to our normal sends, you can also save this as a transaction shortcut if this is a particular transaction that you do often. So we'll just go ahead and finish this. So when you send this cross-chain bridge, you're actually going to get 2 signatures, one for each chain. And I'll go ahead and do this and explain what is happening in the background. So we went ahead and signed base. This is our bridge transaction. And then this is our send transaction. Because the smart wallet is the same address on all chains, what we can do there is basically put these two sort of transactions together. So we're doing something on the base chain, and then we're also doing something on the Arbitrum chain through the same wallet. And we can expand this in the future with other functionalities as well. So in this situation, the transaction failed. It can happen when you do this. Depends on the 2 chains you use and the speed in which it transfers. But no fear, if it fails, that means that the first part was successful and the second part is usually what wasn't. So the first part was the bridge. So we have our Arbitrum ETH here, and we can finish the transaction by just pressing send and sending it to that recipient. So a couple more things to round out the wallet. So now we know how to connect the wallet, how to transfer funds. We have our built-in aggregation tools, which is really all you'll ever need to swap into most tokens. And we're going to talk about a couple more things that are on here. So we have deploy and upgrade. So when we talked earlier, way earlier, we talked about how the smart wallet is derived from the MetaMask address. So one advantage is over sort of older school smart wallets is that you don't actually have to deploy it. However, you do deploy it, but you don't have to deploy it before you can receive funds to it. So that's the point. Whenever you do anything on that network, it will try to deploy the wallet that first time. So we've been using Polygon, so the wallet has already been deployed. We have received some funds on Arbitrum, but we haven't executed any transactions, so it hasn't had a chance to deploy. So you can go ahead and deploy them here from this page. You don't have to. Again, it will just happen automatically as you're doing other things with the wallet. But in case you're having an issue with a certain website, you can deploy it first. And we'll just go ahead and deploy the Arbitrum wallet. And if you continue down the list, so Base, we transacted on the Base network earlier using Aave, so Base was deployed. And then these are all the other wallets that are undeployed. But again, you can receive funds on any of these networks to your address. And then, when you're transacting with dApps or when you do a trade, your wallet will be deployed for you. So the last thing we didn't talk about was Avocado Protect. We have a video on Avocado Protect, but I'm going to run through it briefly here as well. I'm also skipping Transaction Builder. This is for creating transactions. This is not unusual than other transaction builders, so if you're familiar enough with them, you should be able to use this as well. And if you have questions, feel free to ask us. Back to Avocado Protect. So Avocado Protect is one of the most amazing things we've brought out for Avocado. So this is a non-custodial 2FA service, which allows you to add additional security, basically using the one-time passwords. You can use authenticator apps like Authy, like Google's Authenticator. You can use SMS, you can use email, you can use all three. I will give you some suggestions on how you should use this. The big suggestion is, no matter what you use, also set up a backup address, because this is a non-custodial 2FA service. This means that if you lose access to this and you lose your backups, we can't remove this feature from your account. So the best way is to actually have a backup address. So really quickly, if you want to set up Avocado Protect, all you have to do is come here, select an initial verification method, and then from there, you select the networks that you want this to be activated on. This is saying a lot of what I just explained. We're going to proceed, and we're going to go ahead and turn on the Authy. Okay, so you get your authenticator and you scan the code and you press continue. It's going to ask you to give it the code. So we're going ahead and give it the code. Press verify. And it's going to give you the fallback codes. You need these. Like, copy them, save them to a file, copy them down. So once you have, you can click confirm. And now your 2FA is partially activated. You actually have to select the networks to activate it on. So we'll go ahead. We're just going to go ahead and activate it on, we'll activate it on Polygon, sorry. Okay, so this is an on-chain transaction. And we'll go ahead and activate the feature on Polygon. And I'm going to simply just run through what this looks like when it's on. Please see the other video for a full walkthrough. So now we have Avocado Protect on just one network on Polygon. And we go up here. It says this account has Avocado Protected on one or more networks. Okay, great. So let's say we tried to send. Let's try we try to swap some USDC on Base. It looks just like this. Nothing too crazy. And then we get the signature request. Okay. But let's try on Polygon, which has the Protect feature. So here, instead, it's asking us for our authenticator code. And we can also have it not ask us for every transaction. So we're going to turn that on as well. And we'll just go ahead and put in the code, confirm the transaction. Okay, and there is our trade. And if you go to the top, you'll see that we have a little 30-minute timer because we have unlocked the feature, and our trade has completed. And we can keep trading while that timer is unlocked. And then if we click it, we'll terminate the session, and then it's going to ask you again for the code. So that's a very basic version of Avocado Protect. The only thing, again, the other half of it, I would say, is adding the backup address and just overall understanding how it works. So if you do want to use Avocado Protect, watch the tutorial video here and actually give this article a read, which explains sort of what's going on in the back end and how we're able to provide you this service. Okay. Now we know we have Avocado Protect. It's network based. And then lastly, we're going to just go ahead and go into history and look at everything we've done. So when you click on history, you're taken to AvoScan, which is our own kind of multi-chain explorer. You can use this for any Avocado address. When you go to AvoScan, you're going to see the owner and its associated Avo Wallet. So we can see here are some of the things we've done recently. Okay. And let's just go up here. So this one says add signers, and you're going to say, well, when did we add signers? Well, we actually did that with Avocado Protect. So Avocado Protect changes the threshold to 2, which is the 2FA service is the second signer, the Avocado servers. So that's what that is there. You can also review the transaction fees. And if you want to see the transaction on the respective chain, just click on transaction hash up here. So this is what happened on Polygon. Let's just go back. AvoScan has similar filters if you just need to see a certain subset of your transactions. And it includes a little bit of text explaining the transaction or DApp. So when you do things, you should be able to partially understand what you're doing this way. But let's say you want to just really understand like your one address on one network. So you can do that. So just take your, go here, let's say to base. And then here you can just see this network. And because it's just an address, you can use this on any explorer like DBank or Zapper, and you can just load your account there as well. Okay, let's go back to home. All right, and that wraps up our overview of Avocado Personal. In another video, we'll talk more about Avocado Multisig. There are a few other features that we didn't really touch on, but this is a overall comprehensive view of the wallet and how you should use it. A little bit more nuances you can think about. You have to keep this interface open while you're interacting with other dApps. So that could cause some challenges. One idea is to use a particular profile, like with Brave. So I have this one browser that I mainly use Avocado with, let's say, and then that MetaMask address only has that 1 or 2 addresses that you use for Avocado. That can help in just organizing how you think about this, but that's really your own personal preference. If you have any questions, please reach out to us on Discord or just chat with us right here within the browser, which in your Avocado window. We have a lot of other exciting features coming up this year for Avocado, including the Avocado Bridge. There's a lot of amazing functionality and things that we can do through smart wallets, and even more when they're all united in this upcoming multi-chain future that we have. So thank you for watching this video and learning about Avocado Personal, a product by the Instadapp team. We're really, really excited and proud of how far this wallet has gone in 1 year. I also do see a lot of users just using Avocado for the aggregation features, simply depositing funds to swap and bridge within Avocado. I think that's a very interesting use case, and obviously whatever usage that this wallet can bring to you, we're happy that it can do that. Thank you for watching the video, and contact us if you have any other questions.